What is Tibetan Tantra? When you hear Tantra, you might think, what? Sexual practices? Tibet? Why are the monks doing this? I thought they were celibate. So this is nothing like this. Tantra in Tibet means teachings. So Tibetan Tantra is the highest, most purest, ancient, secret teachings from Tibet. This used to be a real secret, which was only transmitted orally from the master to maybe a handful of disciples. So we are so fortunate. We are now living in a different time where these teachings are coming out. It's spread to the West. And I'm sharing this in a 10-week online training course. So in this video I want to talk about what is it actually. When we talk about Tibetan Tantra, what is that? So highest yoga Tantra, it's also called secret mantra, quick path to enlightenment. This was developed to take yogis to full enlightenment in a very short amount of time. They can do it in as quick as 3 years. But you know, they are there in the Himalayas, in a cave, meditating 24/7, 3 years in a row. You know, that's not us. We have more than life, we are busy, we've got families, we've got jobs. We can't afford to sit in a cave for 3 years. So, how can we apply these teachings, these techniques in our daily life? That's what this whole course for me is about. To take these teachings how can we apply this? How can we benefit? Because there are huge benefits to be had from this practice. So if I have to explain what is Tibetan Tantra, in one word I could say purification, where it totally purifies your energy. Again, nothing to do with sexual practices. I'll explain that a bit later, how that got, misunderstood in the West. This is about purifying your energy, completely opening your energy in your body, completely purifying the energy in your body. And what we say in Tibetan Tantra is when you purify your energy, then you purify your mind. They're one-on-one correlated. Your energy and your mind are one-on-one correlated. And when we say mind, mind is what we would call consciousness. But your thinking combined, that is what we say mind. Because your thinking is heavily influenced by your level of consciousness, right? So your consciousness, your thinking, that is what we call mind, energy. One-on-one related. You change your energy, you change your mind. You change your mind, you change your energy. And that's what we work with. So the power of the Tibetan Tantra, and these are the most powerful techniques I have found in my life. I've looked at so many things. I've been in this game for 25 years. Nothing even comes close to this. This is absolutely the highest teachings, the most powerful teachings. But it's simple in a way. And that's the beauty of it. And why does it work? Because we work with the subtle energetic system in the body. And this is so precise, it's like technology. So for example, we work with 10 winds. When we say winds, we mean energy. So we work with 10 different energies in the body. It's not just chi or something like that, it's much more refined. And because it is so refined and it's so precise, that's where it works. That's where everything gets completely on a different level. So what we do in the practice is you completely open up your energy channel, and that's what purifies, and everything flows from there. So the benefits, what happens is, when you think about this, when you totally open up the energy in your body, when you completely open up all your energy channels, not just the chakra, I know, your whole energy channels everywhere, what do you think is going to happen? Your body will heal itself. Because your body was designed to heal itself. That's what it was made to do. Only when your energy gets blocked somewhere, then you create an illness. Then energy can't flow, the body can't do its work. So when the energy starts flowing everywhere, the body will heal itself. And I've witnessed so many miracle healings happening with this in a very short amount of time. The first time was when actually my ex-wife, she had knee issues for 1.5 years. I was doing healing, she was seeing everybody. I couldn't shift it. She started doing this 1 week, pain is gone, crutches can go away, and she can walk up and down the mountain again. 1 week. Somebody else phones me after 3 days. Goes, Stef, my back pain is gone. She had this back pain that she thought a yoga teacher, seeing chiropractors, you name it, healers, nothing. 3 days and it was gone. The last course I was teaching, somebody who had thyroid issues, 14 years. Normally, thyroid is so difficult to get rid of. Once you have that, you're on medication the rest of your life. Gone. And that's the power of these techniques. And the amazing thing is, nowhere in any book is this mentioned. They don't talk about it. They're not even aware. So even though certain Buddhist orders, they share these teachings, they don't even know. You know, I discovered by practicing this, by teaching it, people started asking me, Stef, can you teach us these techniques? So I started doing this. And then I see these results. And that's the power. But that's just the start. So the physical healing is one. But then as you open up your whole system, what's going to happen is going to activate your spiritual powers, as I call them. Now we all have unique talent. So for me, what happened is that my healing capabilities went to a whole different level. A lot of people report more intuition. That happened to me as well. It's like I just know things. People get psychic. So I don't know what that is going to do for you if you do this practice, because everybody has their unique gift. And that will get activated. There was somebody who is very creative, an artist, completely open up creativity to a whole different level. It's also about getting into your power. And to understand that, I'm going to talk a little bit about the philosophy of Tantra. But this is going to take you totally into your power. So there's many benefits and there's a lot more. But ultimately, it's about the transformation of consciousness, where your happiness comes from within. Nothing to do with what happens on the outside. You don't have to chase things, events, go to the next high. You will get to a state of peace, joy, love, happiness, just from the inside, without doing anything. You just do the meditation and you're there. And it's not that you do the meditation, you feel good for a few minutes and then it goes and then you go on with your life. When I do these practices, I'm in that state for the next 24, 48 hours. Then of course in that time I do that again. And I'm in my happy place. And it's just natural. It just happens. It's like you become untouchable. So transformation of consciousness. It's amazing. So to understand a bit how this works, I want to talk about Sutra and Tantra. You see, normal Buddhism, when you think of concepts like nature of suffering, Four Noble Truths, there's a way out of the suffering, compassion, karma, renunciation, letting go of attachments, all those kind of concepts is what we call Sutra. Sutra is what I call mind training. So what we do with Sutra is to train yourself to think like Buddha. Because your whole reality gets created by the mind. You will know this. Your whole reality gets created by your state of mind. So if you can create the mind of a Buddha, your reality will be, you are a Buddha. You will become a Buddha. So that's what we do with Sutra. So it's beautiful. It took me a while to get that. In the beginning, I thought it was so heavy when I first found Buddhism. Like, all this talk about suffering, it can get so heavy, right? But what they're doing is you need to transcend the suffering. You need to understand suffering. So I get it now. Maybe they don't always explain it in that way. But to transcend the mind, to go beyond the mind, to free yourself from the mind by training your mind is a very difficult trick. You know this probably from your own experience. You can read books, you can mentally understand something, you can understand non-duality. You may like the philosophy of non-duality. It doesn't mean you are in a state of non-duality. It's a mistake a lot of people make. Not so simple. It takes a lot of time. So the whole philosophy with sutra is what we call normal Buddhism. Yes, enlightenment is possible, but it's always some faraway goal. Like maybe, the Buddha was on that level. I'm just this normal person. Who am I to think I can become Buddha, right? Let's stay real. Maybe in next life, if I accumulate enough merit, then my next life will be better, and I can purify a bit more, and then maybe in the far future I can get enlightened and escape this wheel of reincarnation, cycle of samsara. Tantra, completely different philosophy. With Tantra we say, no, you have Buddha nature inside, your true nature is Buddha nature. You can get to full enlightenment in one lifetime, this lifetime. Totally different viewpoint. And rather than fighting to let go of desire and attachment, we're going to work with it and transform it. So what you suppress controls you is basically, and that's philosophy, what you suppress controls you. Philosophy, psychology. Tantra says, no, we're not going to suppress this, we're going to use the energy of the desire to transform the desire and get rid of it. It's like you are burning the wood and then the wood disappears. The desire and your attachment is the wood. And we're going to use that energy to create a fire, but it burns it and it transforms it and it dissipates. So, completely different philosophy. So, the highest teachings of Sutra is emptiness. Emptiness is really profound. It's in the course we will work with this. It's the hardest concept to really understand. Again, mentally you can understand it, but to really get it, to live it, to have the direct experience of emptiness, different story. Tantra, highest teaching is bliss. And actually, the ultimate insight is that bliss and emptiness are one and the same. And initially you go like, what? It seems to be the complete opposite, emptiness, bliss. Funny thing is that I had an enlightenment experience in 2015. First big wave that came was total emptiness. And 2 weeks later, total wave of bliss. And that was like a polar opposite experience. So I wrote a book about it, Emptiness and Bliss. And then only a few years later, 2 years later, I find these teachings, these Tibetan teachings. And they're talking about emptiness and bliss. It's amazing. It was all meant to be, to happen, or to unfold in that way. And yeah, you can maybe taste, I'm so passionate about this. This is going to be my life teachings, to bring this into the West, into a way how you can use this. So you learn in the training, we are working actively to learn to see yourself like a Buddha. What? Who am I to think I'm Buddha? It's what we call divine pride. No, and there are techniques where you literally merge with Buddha energy. And this is not some kind of fluffy meditation like, oh yeah, and now you are going to imagine that you are Buddha so-and-so. It's nothing like that. It's very precise. This is like a science. So we use the subtle energetic system in a very profound way. Doing the meditation in a very specific way, you are merging with Buddha energy. And it is so beautiful. When I learned this, once you understand how it works, it's like, wow, this is such a mastery. It's so clever. It's so beautiful. And it takes you in that state of joy, peace, compassion, love. Very quickly. You can get there in 5 minutes. You are in that state. Super beautiful. So you learn these techniques in the course. So yeah, the ultimate insight, again, it needs to be a direct experience. Emptiness is bliss. And they say that if you really get there, if you totally get that, then that is the point of full enlightenment. So I'm not there yet. Yeah, I'm not claiming to be enlightened. Let that be clear. So to understand a bit, what are these practices? What makes part of Tibetan Tantra? So for me, the best way to explain that is I'm going to run you through the course, the whole course structure, if that's okay. And then you'll understand, what is in there, what are these practices? What actually is it in reality, rather than talking about it, how amazing it is. You know, what is these exercises, what are we talking about? So, the training is 10 weeks. 10-week online course. You get every week, you get video lessons. And then on Wednesday, normally it's a Wednesday, there's a Zoom call with me, live. You can ask questions, we go through the material. I'm going to make sure that you get it. And we do meditations together. And again, in those sessions, my energy acts like a tuning fork. So I will spark the state inside of you. It really works, it's amazing. So that's the kind of the format. So we start first 2 weeks is about laying the foundation. It's a bit the theory base that underpins everything. Now I know that everybody always goes like, oh, come on, we want to do the meditations, get on with it. And then at the end, everybody says, wow, it was actually really necessary. Now we see why you started that way. So in the foundation phase, there is a video. First video is about my journey with Tumo. Tumo is one of the techniques that I found that is in the course. Tumo means inner fire. And with Tumo you learn to create an inner fire in the body. You rise it up and it generates the bliss, and the bliss is what purifies. I'll come back to that later. But that video is about my story. My life story, spiritual journey, the enlightenment experience, emptiness, bliss. How that later led to me finding these teachings, how I came to teach this, how I created the online course, why that all happened. So you understand where I come from. It's important. And you need to resonate with me, I suppose, if you want to do a training like this. Next video is about Tibetan Buddhism. So to understand Tantra, I'm going to zoom completely out, or rather here. I'm going to start with actually Buddhism. What is Buddhism? How did that start? What's the idea of Buddhism? Then I go into the different streams of Buddhism. Tibetan Buddhism. How did Buddhism come to Tibet? There are different streams of Tibetan Buddhism. I talk about this. And then we go to Vajrayana, Sutra, Tantra. So you can see the whole path. Next video is about Sutra. So here I explain all the concepts of Sutra. Touched upon them. Things like nature of suffering, Four Noble Truths, renunciation, karma, compassion, bodhicitta. At the end, the highest insight is emptiness. So I'm gonna do like a crash course of Sutra, because we say you need both. Ultimately, Sutra and Tantra, they are the two wings of a bird. You need them both to fly. So it's too much in the course to do everything, but I'm going to give you a basic understanding, because these concepts will come back in the course. So that's Sutra. Then the next video is about Tantra, the philosophy of Tantra. I've touched upon this, but I go much deeper in that video. so you understand what it is we are trying to do. Next video is about the lineage. So I'm really going to show you exactly where these teachings come from, all the masters that went before us. And this was oral tradition, could transform from one person to the next, to the next. And the beautiful thing about Buddhism is that they have a complete history, a recorded history of everything that happened. And if they make changes to something, they record exactly that person changed this because X, Y, Z. It's completely open and transparent what they did and why. And it's so beautiful to see all these masters, how that gets transferred, and it goes right down to me at the end, and then for me it's going to go to you. So you can see that whole lineage, and it's beautiful. You learn Tilopa, master in India, then Marpa, the translator, brings it to Tibet, then it goes to Milarepa. Milarepa is the most famous yogi in Tibet. And actually the next video is about the life of Milarepa. Why? Because it's so inspiring and it shows the power of these teachings. Because he used to do black magic. Normal guy, not a monk, normal person. He was into black magic, he killed 35 people. And he completely turned his life around. Went like, oh, what have I done? He was begging, he was searching for years to find a master to give him the teachings. Finally finds Marpa. Had to wait about 12 years before he got the teachings. And that story is in there. Finally he was giving the teachings. He meditated 7 years and went to full enlightenment. And I mean full enlightenment. And that's the first time that a layperson, meaning somebody who's not a monk, goes from such a bad karma to full enlightenment. So if he can do it in one lifetime, then you can do it. So it's such an inspiring story, and there's so many lessons in there. I love that. Everybody loves that story. So that's that video, Life of Milarepa. Then we're going to go into the explaining the subtle energetic system in the body. Something called channels, winds and drops. And you know, I'm using this with animations. I've got computer animations, I've got graphics, to use modern tools to explain this in a way how we can do it now. We live in the 21st century, we can have these tools, so let's use it. And it's so beautiful to be able to do it this way, because it makes it so much more clearer. And the beautiful thing is that, you know, how do they know at that time, thousands of years ago, how did they know how this works? It's because when you get so purified, you get so psychic, and I sometimes get into that state where you literally see your energy system on the inside. It's amazing when it happens. And I've personally been able to verify that exactly what they say, it's exactly like this. That's how they found the system, because they got into that state and then they see it all. So it's so beautiful, it's so precise, laser precision, amazing. So channels, drops and winds, I explained that whole system there. So all that is in the first 2 weeks. So you can imagine this is quite full. The whole training, this whole 10-week course is very full. I give so much information. You get so much out of this. So then we're going to go, the next 2 weeks is about opening and purifying your energy. So here you get different techniques. First video is about meditation posture, because actually the most people don't have a correct posture. Even people who've done lots of yoga, have done a lot of meditation, they still don't have the right posture. So I start with this. Then we go to something that is called 9 breaths. The first exercise to open up your side channels. We work with central channel, about 2 side channels. So here we are working on balancing the side channels. Next meditation is empty body meditation. This one is beautiful. Everybody loves empty body meditation. Where you learn how to dissolve your body and go into a state of emptiness. It's beautiful. Again, very easy to learn, but so powerful. And there are many benefits from doing this meditation. I explained it all in the video. Then we are going to go working with that subtle energy system more. Next video is about what we call meditation on the channels. So you will learn how to take your consciousness up and down your body and go to different places in your body with your consciousness, which is a very crucial technique. It takes some practice. Again, here we work with animations to show you exactly how to visualize, and beautiful. Then the next technique you'll get is what I call shining lights, where you will learn how to purify the energy channels in your body. Now this technique is so powerful, that's so profound. This is worth the whole price of the course, just this one. This is where you will heal your whole body, because you really open up and purify all your energy channels. Amazing, amazing. So that's that phase, opening, purifying your energy. Then next phase, 2 weeks, is about merging with Buddha energy. Like I said, in a very specific way you will learn how you can merge your energy. First one we will work with is Vajradhara, Primordial Tantric Buddha, Tantric energy. I call that Buddha light meditation. Then the next week we work with Avalokitesvara, also known as Kuan Yin, Buddha of compassion. It's a practice called taking and giving, where you learn to take, well, initially your own suffering and completely transform and heal it. All the pain you've experienced in your life you can heal this way. And then you will learn how you can do it for other people. But it's the most beautiful practice. Healing in a completely different way. Everybody, again, loves this one. Because it very quickly totally takes you into that state of total compassion. It just happens. It goes beyond anything you've ever experienced. So easy, so quickly, so beautiful. So amazing practice. Then the next 2 weeks we go into Tumo meditation. Tumo is the jewel in the crown. It's the technique where you master your energy in the body, purely with your concentration. But you will generate physical heat. You will feel it when it happens. It's like a physical heat inside your body. And you learn how to rise that up through the central channel. It ignites bliss at the crown. It's amazing. It's like having a full body orgasm. So this is where, I suppose, where the sexual tantra they get a bit mistaken. Yeah, it is like a full body orgasm, but from your crown flowing down through your whole body. Completely different. And the beautiful thing is that this can last for a very long time. You can stay in that state for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you lose track of time. Where normal orgasm, especially for a man, is like 2 seconds and it's gone. That was nice, but now I'll fall asleep. With this, you can keep that going and going. You will learn specific techniques how to make that happen. Something called blazing and dripping. 4 joys, where you learn how to control that bliss. Bring it all the way down into your body, bring it all the way up to your body. Amazing techniques. Now by this time we're getting really, this is mastery level. This takes a bit of practice. And that's the same thing for the whole course. You need to practice this. These are not fluffy, happy guided meditations that you just listen along and then that's it. This is practice. You need to do it. But everybody can. Half an hour a day is enough initially. And you don't have to do it every day. Life happens. Right? Some days you won't be able to do it. But think that most days, 5 out of 7 days, you should be able to dedicate half an hour to do this. At some point it will get longer, maybe 1 hour. But you'll get used to this and you will love it. some of the techniques, Tumo, you can also do lying down. I'll learn you how that works. So now that transformed my meditation practice, where now I can do 2 hours of meditation, no problem. It's amazing, I don't want to stop. When that energy comes through your whole body, you don't want to stop, believe me. And that's what actually a lot of people report, that by doing this training, they say for the first time I've established a real meditation practice that I'm really sustaining and I can do it now. So the last 2 weeks we really talk about putting it all together. How do you practice at home? I've got suggested schemes of all these techniques that you will learn. There are many. How do you do all of them? No, a bit too much. So how do you work with this? So we talk about this and I show you when do you use what. In certain situations you're going to take this, you will get such a rich tool back. So we talk about exactly how to use that, how to apply this in your life. That's what this is about. And the transformation will happen when you practice. This is a set of tools that you will have for the rest of your life. For me, this is the practice. Yes, I'm always curious, I'm open. I like to explore new things. But like I said before, there is nothing that comes even close to this. This is so powerful, so beautiful. This is it. This is what I'll be doing the rest of my life. And just to know that you have the tools with this to keep yourself completely healthy for the rest of your life. How? Just that one. How amazing is that? To know that you will get the same technique, Tumo, that Milarepa used to go to full enlightenment. That may not be your goal, but the transformation of consciousness that will happen more and more as you go deeper in this practice. This state of happiness and joy, the peace becomes the default state. For me, this is now 80% of the time, that's where I am. Sometimes I drop out of it and then suffering is back and mind is back. And it's sometimes good because it's almost like you forget. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is how most people live in that state. So it's sort of humbling to sort of drop back into that. And then, yeah, I've got the tools, then I'm out. You will learn when your consciousness shifts with time, your whole life becomes beautiful. Everything becomes so beautiful. The distinction of good and bad events disappears. You can look back at your life and you know, it's knowing that everything was beautiful. Even the painful times were beautiful. And that changes everything. Then you are free from that, experiencing life as good or bad. This labeling, it drops away. It just happens. And you get free from the mind. You go beyond. It's not like you're going to be in a super high all the time. You can't live your whole life in bliss. It's very rare that people do that. But it's like this subtle joy that permeates everything. And for me, life has become so beautiful. Everything. You know, in our days that I feel absolutely shit. And then I remember and I do the practice and then boom, I'm out. So that's Tibetan Tantra. So I hope this gives you some more understanding. You have to experience it to feel it. But I hope I can somehow transmit a bit the beauty of this. So if you want to know more, the ultimate is doing the 10-week training. I do actually have a mini course that I put together where you will get you'll get a number of videos, few videos from the actual course. My journey with Tumo, Tibetan Buddhism, empty body meditation is in there. You will, it's the first taster of this system. And the empty body meditation already is beautiful. It's very affordable, it's very cheap. So if you want to know more, if you want to get a taste of this, then get the mini course. The link will be under the video. Yeah, I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching, and I would love to share this with you. So if that resonates, I would love to have you on the course. Have a beautiful day.